Hello, welcome to a bonus episode of Magic Arena Run. Previously on this episode, we took a look at the Primal Fury deck, green red dinosaurs. I did one update. I just simply upped the dinosaur count. I made it more tribal aligned. Then I realized there are a few cards I missed out, and there's actually a whole nother team I missed out. I basically focused on the dino end because that was as much time as I had. Now, while I'm still trying to figure out what extra content I would be doing, I decided, you know what? Let's take a look at this other direction, because there's more than one face to everything. So, as you can tell from the splash screen, this one was inspired by yet a previous starter deck. For those who remembered and might have actually played the deck, you would have remembered that the very first green red starter deck was the Sun Empire. It was about dinosaurs. This current one is Primal Fury. It's about dinosaurs. But halfway in between, when they introduced Kaladesh block, they made a starter deck that was not about dinosaurs. It was called Kicking and Screaming. It was actually based on the kicker mechanic. So we're going to work with that one, but and in that case, so the trick we're going to go here is we want to have decent early drops that we can kick into our late drops. So it kind of solves the ramp problem in the sense that if we don't hit our ramp, we still have things we can drop. Very good example would be this card here, Baloth Gorger. 4/4/4/4. Pretty decent. Nothing so great to write home about, but you could kick it much later when you hit the mana. So we are looking for a lot of so we're gonna look through our payoffs first, but we are going to aim for getting a high mana count. I believe we're gonna aim for at least 9 because of a bunch of cards. One of them is Fight with Fire. This is actually one card I missed out on the previous list. I got too complacent with the early spot removal. Was all instant. Sideboard removal assumed I had the dinosaur on board. Fight with Fire is another way to get through. It's also a virtual lava axe when you do hit 9 mana. So that's one thing to consider. Grow from the Ashes could be our ramp spell. It also does have kicker, but might be a bit over. I'll just leave one in here for now just to analyze the situation. Actually, I should set the filter so it should be at least green or red. Yeah, because I'm not going to look at the other cards. One copy of Grundaloni King, it's an uncommon, and why not? Saproling Migration is a good early drop for the deck, and you can kick it later. We will probably combine this with Song of Freyalise so that we can as another means of ramping up. Crowsun Druid probably in the sideboard if we do need to hit life maybe. I suppose if we did a mono red goblins deck, we might consider Goblin Barrage. But today's not that day. Shivan Fire, yet another removal option. Shock is probably better, but being able to remove big threats, because we're not going to be playing a lot of big threats of our own. We will probably cut down on. No, we'll still be playing a bunch of dinosaurs too. But they probably will have extra utility like Territorial Allosaurus. That's a nice addition. Verix Blade Wing, if we can get that. Untamed Kavu, that's another early drop we could use. So we're actually going to be front loading our early drops. So wait. Then change the wording from kicker to kick. Then we get Elfheim Druid. So we could use this, or we could just use plain Llanowar Elves. So I'm gonna decide on that one. Gonna have one copy of Halar. I actually want another particular legend. We're not going to use Bloodstone Goblin. We don't need a kicker payoff. Halar's kind of a good kicker payoff by herself. Also a 3/3 for 3. Nothing wrong with that one. We're just pretty much looking for mana sinks. We're not exactly aiming for that much synergy. But then let's add some of the cards that we had from the previous deck since we're building up on it. Carnage Tyrant, no reason to not include that. Charging Monstrosaur. Wait. Did I misspell that? Contains at least one of... Yeah, that's correct. Standard's correct. Should be processing everything right now. Okay. Source. Now this one, before I was... yeah, Charging Monstrosaur. Yeah, I was wondering why that didn't show up. So we got 2 copies of those, so we'll definitely put those in. We're not gonna put the Charging Tuscadons. We're not gonna put the Raptor Hatchling. We won't even be putting Forerunners for this build. Etali, sure, why not? We can put that one in. But otherwise, Grow from the Ashes probably might be a bit late. Also, yeah, I already said Song of Release. Let's not forget that. So, Song of Release, what this does is, it allows any creature you have to become basically a mana elf of sorts. Actually, it turns them into Birds of Paradise. So I'll put about 2 copies of this. Maybe room for a third if ever. But the game plan is, if we get as many early creatures as we can, so Untamed Kavu is a good one, Sapling Migration's a good one. Then when you play Song of Release, you can probably get one of our 5 or 6 drops down quickly. We might even generate enough mana later to... yeah, we could even hit 7 for Varix, I guess. So there are many options there. We do want some extra burn spells to go with this. I know there's a Bane Fire in the deck, so we'll definitely keep that one. Lightning Strikes will stay too. There's no reason not to drop those. Really should turn on the standard filter again. There you go. So Lightning Strikes come back. The deck had 3, but we're gonna bump it up to 4. So we're skipping on Shocks. And we're not exactly accelerating right now. As it is, the deck is a bunch of big stuff, a bunch of small stuff. Song of Release is our only accelerant right now. We do have Llanowar Elves in the deck, so I might as well just put all 4 of them in. I might as well just put 3 of them in and add 1 more. So we're not completely reliant on acceleration. So we have no Pelaka Worm. We don't have the other big one. We do have we have a bunch of smaller cards. We can take our time removing stuff. In fact, let's build up the mana base and do a quick analysis here. But we'll also add the usual suspects. Reclamation Sage comes in. We have a single copy of Goreclaw, but we don't have that many big 4-drops anymore. In fact, actually we still do. We have that as a 4-drop. Sapling Migration. Okay, I'm gonna put 1 here. I'm gonna drop 1 Sapling Migration. I think 4 is too many. Yeah, we still have that, so might as well just use that tech. Silent Gravestone still going in the sideboard. I guess Sorcerer's Spyglass is also an nice sideboard addition too. Still waiting for the meta to change, but if Teferi rears its ugly head again, yeah, I guess we will put that in. So got that. Crawl Harpooner for... Okay, show all cards. Crawl Harpooner will come in as our anti-flight tech. It's also a big beefy creature in its own regard. I haven't exactly looked into much of Guilds of Ravnica yet. I could still use some more experience in that. Actually, let's take... I guess we could spend a few minutes to go over them. So let's just finish building up the mana base here so we can figure out what's missing. So... Rootborn, nope. Rootbound Crag, we're definitely putting 4 copies of this. Okay. We're kind of an even mix of green and red, but our splash and all our early stuff is mostly green, so I'm gonna prioritize green first. No need for unclaimed territory this time because we only have a handful of dinosaurs. So green would be... So okay, so let's add a bunch of forests. I'm guessing an 11-9 mix for now. We can fix this later. Oh no, not Mountain Bandit. I want an actual mountain. And let's make it an 8 and just add 1 arch. Not quite golden arches, but still a decent arch nonetheless. So we're gonna do this as a quick analysis. So this is gonna be the kicker hybrid variant. So as you can see, we're very, very green here. So we could slide in a few extra forests. Relying on Song of Freyalise doesn't sound like a really good plan, though. We do have enough early drops, but Lightning Strike and Fight with Fire is pretty much our only... Okay, there's Bane Fire. We could use some more removal on this end. Now, let's take a look. The set would be Guilds of Ravnica, so no format. Let's take a look at what cards we get here. I guess we could put Affectionate Indrik on the sideboard. It is a fight card, and it actually does generate enough power. Arclight Phoenix is a mythic rare. No, our deck doesn't benefit from that one. Doesn't benefit from Aurelia. Beast. We do benefit from Beast Whisper. We are casting a bunch of creature spells. Bounty of Might as a finisher, maybe. Circuitous Root just gets us from 4 to 6. Crushing Canopy. Man, it's a decent sideboard card too. No, that's a wall. Direct Current is jumpstart card. I don't think we want this for this particular deck. This is interesting. So what happens is you can only play cards off the top of your library, but your hand is kind of dead. No. Fire Urchin. Actually, the Goblin is a good fit for this one. It's basic. If we're talking about additional removal, Goblin Crater Maker is a good fit for this deck. Not exactly on team, and you will have to grind through a lot of Guild of Ravnica cards. Then again, this build is gonna set you back a bunch of cards back from Dominaria, like the Territorial Allosaurus. Sapperling Migrations are easy to come by, especially if you got the Golgari deck. Untamed Kavu, yeah, this will set you back a bit. So we make adjustments based on what you have. Don't take this deck list as gospel. There are other things we can do with this. So not much in the way of removal. Gravitic Punch did... this one did come out of nowhere. It is a decent finisher if we hit one of our big drops. Not exactly much in the way of big drops. Impervious Great Worm. Yeah, this one... I guess if you bought the box and you have one of these guys, this might be a decent fit. Actually, you probably get enough creatures that you could get a sizable discount. Now, whether that or Galta is cheaper remains to be seen. Recluses and no. Iron Shell Beetles and no. Inescapable Blaze. What did you get for 6 mana? Now, actually, you gain uncounterability. and it puts you halfway in between the 3 mana of Fight with Fire and 9 mana of Kicking Fight with Fire. That's not a good deal for now. Lava Coil. This one actually would be a good sideboard. We don't have a Braid anymore, but I guess if we need more removal, I guess that is the card I would use. So yeah, this is how I would list it out. The Krosan Druid is kind of flexible. I would probably drop it eventually. It's probably the weakest part of the bunch. Actually, Kicker by itself is not that great. It's up to you to decide if you could afford to have more mana fixers per se. Yeah, if you got the Nullhide Ferox, definitely go for it. That thing is bonkers. So, but otherwise, that's a very quick look at the very quick look at this deck. It's basically an adjusted tweak. Yeah, we're gonna adjust the mana base here. So probably gonna bump it up 2 forests. No, actually I'm just gonna bump it a little less. In fact, until we can get Stomping Grounds again, I might even we might just have to bite the bullet and go Timber Gorge for now. Nope, let's kill that filter. Actually, yeah. Probably just use Timber Gorge for now. We only have this as our 1-drop, so that is one way to play around it. So okay, let's take a look at the deck, how the deck works now. I guess we can get away with it this time. Still heavily green. Well, of course it's still heavily green. I only adjusted the mana. I'm definitely missing something. I'm gonna go take a look at my previous deck list, see what did I miss out. Oh, there you go. Draconic Disciple. That's one thing I missed. So we're definitely gonna put those in. Sure, it's a pain, but it is a virtual kicker of sorts. So what would I drop in favor of that? Because right now we're 2-drop. We're not even 2-drop heavy. It's technically just this and Saproling Migration here. This is Song of Fraelis. This is Lightning Strike. Llanowar Elves. We're actually 4-drop heavy, so I might cut down one Baylot. I might cut down a Baylot Gorger. Let's see if we can make fit in 2 more slots. So Baylot Gorger, definitely keeping the Verix, keeping Halar. Grun probably might be the weakest one. It's not like we have Trample. Yeah, let's cut Grun. And I want to keep a Tally. I want to keep the Charging Monsters because they come out of they hit out of nowhere. I'm actually gonna cut 1 Llanowar Elves because we only start with 3 anyway. Sure, if you get the 4th copy, go for it. So let's go for the let's put in the Draconic Disciples. I know we start with 2. 1 more couldn't hurt, I think. So this becomes, and much later, you can cash this in for a 5/5. So yeah, that's exactly what I've been missing. So let's save this up. And that would be it for this quick bonus episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I finally figured out how to do the ending splash screen. I thought I had to make it. I saw a lot of other YouTubers. They make a separate video that they will just append to the end. They had plenty of time to do editing. I don't, so you're just gonna have to make do with just quick splash. There's the playlist. I'm also gonna need to figure out if I'm going to do a bonus video. Cause here's the thing, I'm currently using a handheld microphone. I have a nice headset that doesn't have a mic. I don't want to buy a headset with a mic just for the purpose of having a mic. If I could find, I probably should buy a separate mic stand instead. Then again, I could use one of those hands-free mics as well. Until then, that precludes me from playing any action games with the cheap USB controller that I have. That pretty much leaves me with strategy games. I originally had Stellaris in mind, but there's an update coming soon that's gonna change a bit of gameplays, and I didn't want to start the game just to have it changed, within a month or so. I guess I could do Darkest Dungeon. I probably will just do that. Yeah, you know what? It's been quite a while. I've enjoyed Darkest Dungeon a bit. I haven't enjoyed it to its fullest. So you know what? I guess I'm gonna do just that. So that's it. If you guys have any ideas for how I could any suggestions for a relatively cheap game, maybe even a flash game, I could run one of those. That's it for this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please let me know in the comments if you guys have any ideas. This coming weekend, back to regular schedule. We'll do another draft. Constructed. We'll be doing we'll do the Saproling deck. I did win 2 Overgrown Tombs after all, so it's a good fit. Anyway, that's it for